Talking about my 3D project that I created. So I'm going to talk of things like the software, the layouts, things like interactivity within it. So I'm going to start off with talking about the software. So the software I used was Maya. It was the 2014 version, and I know there are different applications or different softwares that I could have used instead, such as Cinema 4D and Blender. However, I found Maya to be a lot simpler than the others because it was simply more with the interface side of things. Um, I found the interface really easy to use when it came across things like modelling. So I had my main character in my idea, which was a children's tabletop, was a glass ball. So the glass ball had to look very realistic, it had to have shine and a reflection to it, and Maya was great with that, things like the reflection and the shine as well. It really came across in the end product, which I really liked about it, and it was really simple to make in about 10-15 minutes as well, which makes your life a lot easier. Layout of my piece was going to be really simple, so because it's a children's tabletop, it isn't going to have a lot of like dark textures or things like that. It's not going to have sharp objects, so everything I had to use would have been blunt, and it would have been very messy as well within it. So I kind of had a general idea of already going into it what I wanted to do, which made life a lot easier, especially knowing when you have a set idea. So I had my two pencils in there, I had glass balls, I had alphabet letter blocks, and I also had an aeroplane which isn't really shown in it. I also have a Lego man, which is about all I have. So the layout of that as well, also it was a bit of they had to kind of suit with each other as well. So I had the ruler up against the blocks, so it just looked kind of messy, but not messy that. So I got a lot of feedback for this, showing different people of different ages and everything. So I showed a younger audience who loved it and thought it was a great idea, from about 15 to 17, who loved the idea and thought it was great. I also got feedback from industry standard people who thought it was great, it was a great idea, and the way it was executed was very well done. Which I myself was very happy about, knowing that I chose the right software package to use. I learned it, and then my final piece was good enough for industry standard people to kind of go and say, yeah, this is great. So I got inspiration from this from Toy Story, the bedroom scenes you see in Toy Story, and how all the toys are on the floor sometimes, which I took real inspiration from, and which I tried to recreate in my own sort of world without the whole giving object character feel to them, which I hope came across in my work. It came to the sound, I kind of felt that it had to connect with the viewer instead of being very kind of loose and video. So I added a song in there called Homecoming, which is a very slow song, which it very much suited the video style of what I was producing at the time, which I was very happy about. Both slow pieces which kind of gelled together, which kind of really connected with the viewer that was watching it, and from that I got great feedback as well. Doing this I gained great technical skills. I was able to learn a whole new program that I had not learned before, which is great experience going into different fields such as 3D itself. So when it came to things like texturing, I had to choose and make sure I used colours that weren't going to conflict in any way. So the flooring I had was a wooden floor, so I had to make sure the objects around them didn't collapse. So also when it came to things like the shine on objects, depending on what they were, so I had obviously the glass balls would have to have a lot of reflection and shine on them, whereas something like the wooden blocks aren't going to have much shine on them, as they're only wooden blocks. So things like that you have to take into consideration as well. which I did, which is able to view my work.